Jordan Spieth,
Yes.
what was it like winning the Masters?
So it was really cool. Yeah.
Imagine bursting onto the PGA Tour as one of golf's brightest young stars, winning majors, climbing all the way to world number one, only to find yourself in the middle of rules, debates, slow play criticisms, and moments so unconventional they made fans wonder if the game needed rewriting. Jordan Spieth was never the guy who crushed tournaments with raw distance. He beat opponents by outthinking them, finessing angles, pushing the boundaries of what was possible within the rulebook, and thriving in the chaos. At his best, he was golf's golden boy. During his dry spell, he became one of the game's most unpredictable figures. This is the story of how Spieth turned brilliance and creativity into a kind of dominance that, at times, made fans and fellow pros wonder if the game's rulebook was being tested to its limits. Jordan Alexander Spieth was born on July 27, 1993, in Dallas, Texas. His parents, Sean and Mary, were both collegiate athletes, and Jordan's focus on golf took root quite early on. By age 4, he was swinging. By 10, he was on course regularly. He attended Jesuit College Prep School, where he won the U.S. Junior Amateur in 2009 and again in 2011. Only Tiger Woods had won it multiple times before him. In 2010, at just 16 years old, he earned a sponsor exemption into the HP Byron Nelson Championship, made the cut, and finished tied for 16th, becoming the 6th youngest player ever to make a PGA Tour cut. At the University of Texas, Spieth's freshman year was a breakout. He led the team to an NCAA championship in 2012, earned Big 12 Player of the Year and Freshman of the Year honors, was named a first-team All-American, and rose to number 1 in the World Amateur Golf Ranking. In December 2012, he turned professional, and just months later, 19-year-old rookie, he won the John Deere Classic, FAR, becoming the youngest PGA Tour winner in 19 years. 2015 was Spieth's launch into legend. He won the Masters at 21, leading the tournament from the very first round to the last. A few months later, he claimed the U.S. Open at Chambers Bay, becoming the youngest champion since Bobby Jones in 1923. He also added the Valspar Championship to his trophy case, finished the year by winning the Tour Championship and FedEx Cup, and swept golf's major honors like the PGA Player of the Year, Vardon Trophy, and topped the PGA Tour money list, banking over $12 million in official earnings that season alone, not including millions more in bonuses and endorsements. Off the course, Spieth's star power attracted major sponsors, most notably a long-term deal with Under Armour, as well as partnerships with brands like Titleist, AT&T, and Rolex. By August, he became world number 1 at just 22. The next year, he came close to sweeping all 4 majors and ultimately won the 2017 Open Championship at Royal Birkdale. It was during the final round of the Open Championship that Spieth stood on the 13th tee with a 3-shot lead. Moments earlier, he had been cruising, but then came a drive that rocketed wildly right, disappearing into the dunes near an equipment truck, every so far offline it looked destined to derail his championship. What followed was nearly 20 minutes of tense consultation with rules officials. Spieth, calm but clearly calculating, found a legal escape, taking relief on the adjacent practice range to gain a clear line. It was a move straight from a strategist's playbook, completely within the rules, but rare enough to leave the crowd buzzing. He walked away with a bogey that felt like a par, then caught fire. Birdie at 14, a monster 48-foot eagle putt on 15, birdies on 16 and 17. By the time he walked up the 18th, the claret jug was his by 3 shots. It wasn't code-breaking, but it was the kind of quick thinking, as one, legal, calculated, and controversial, that defined him. Spieth has a history of turning awkward or even disastrous-looking lies into opportunities through his deep knowledge of the rules. On multiple occasions, he's taken off-property relief under the temporary immovable obstruction rule, most famously at Royal Birkdale, but also in cases involving hospitality tents, television towers, or equipment trucks. He's used line-of-sight relief from cart paths and other obstacles, moves that are completely legal but require thinking several shots ahead. His willingness to examine every option isn't limited to unusual relief situations. Spieth was flagged for slow play as early as 2016 at the Abu Dhabi HSBC Championship, when the European Tour had just introduced stricter pace of play rules. While some saw it as nitpicking, others noticed how methodical he is. Walking through scenarios, talking through them with his caddy, and only pulling the trigger when fully committed. It's not about dragging the round out. For Spieth, that extra time is part of the strategy, ensuring he's making the smartest choice possible on every shot. After 2017, Spieth's game went into an unexpected decline. He didn't win for nearly 4 years, changing his swing and battling a crisis of confidence that led to him tumbling down the rankings. His earnings and sponsor appeal stayed strong, but the on-course magic seemed to vanish. That drought ended in 2021 at the Valero Texas Open, where he captured his first title since 2017. A year later, he backed it up with a victory at the RBC Heritage, proof that the fight, composure, and the ability to deliver when the pressure's highest were still there. By that point, Spieth's career PGA Tour win total had climbed to 13, a number that highlights how prolific his prime years were and how remarkable his return to the winner's circle felt after the drought. Off the course, Spieth kept building his life. In 2018, he married his high school sweetheart, Annie Verrett, in a quiet, private ceremony. The two have since welcomed 3 children. Together, they lead the Jordan Spieth Family Foundation. Driven by personal inspiration from his sister Ellie, to support special needs youth, junior golf, military families, and pediatric cancer. It's a way for Spieth to extend his impact beyond golf and turn his success into a platform for giving back. At this point, Spieth has built a legacy of 3 majors, a FedEx Cup, and 13 PGA wins. At just 31, he's 1 major away from a career Grand Slam. But here's the dual lens. While some fans see his shot-making and quick thinking as pure golf artistry, others feel he pushes the limits of the rules a bit too far. To many, he's both a creative genius and a reflection of the game's gray areas. He shows us not just what's possible, but exactly where those limits lie. Whichever side you're on, one thing's for sure. Jordan Spieth isn't dominating with just physical power. He's dominating with his mind. And in that mastery of the gray, he has left many asking whether the rulebook needs a tune-up.